Start recording. Yes. Okay. Oh, not that one. Okay, I should mute everybody first. I need to go back and. Oops. Okay.
It looks like there's a UFO behind me.
UFO. All right, guys. I'm going to meet you all. Then we'll unmute at the end for recording. Okay. Here we are. Now, if we can just start with gold. Okay. So thank you for joining us this Saturday. We want to talk about digging for gold and all that it entails, reaching gold. So many of you are silvers, striving silvers. Your next goal is to make it to gold. And I want you to know that being silver is a huge accomplishment. I mean, that is huge. You've recruited 3 people to come and join you with membership. That's impressive, okay? That's the biggest goal. A lot of people don't make it to silver, but you did. And now it's getting that business started because you're looking at it as a business. Silvers make pretty significant amount of money. You know, on average, it's about $422 a month. And that's game changer money. That's the car payment. That's groceries for a month. That's part of rent. So $400 to have $400 extra dollars in your pocket, I think that's a blessing to me. When I first started, I didn't want nothing to do with the business. I just wanted to get products. And then slowly that changed to getting my products paid for. So what did that entail? Started sharing with friends and family. And then slowly that why took place. You guys, sorry, I have my diffuser going on here. I'll turn it off. So now you have the critical part in your team right now is to lay that foundation for your team. So you have a team right now. You are considered a leader. If you have one person on your team as an ambassador, as a customer, guess what? You are a leader. They look up to you. They came to you, so they will come to you for questions when they want answers. Perhaps they want to start sharing. I mean, we have to constantly be checking in with these people to see what their goals are. So you are a leader. You're excited. Remember when you first got that graphic up and people were congratulating you because you just went silver? Keep that excitement going. People are looking at you, your friends, your family, that you have been recognized as a silver ambassador. So they're keeping an eye on you. So you have to be determined and tell yourself, yes, I can do this. And I think when we have a title, we need to play the part with the title. So we need to keep posting and keep sharing so that people are more and more intrigued about what you have to offer. So here's a little saying that says, if you can make it to gold, you can make it to diamond. And the reason why I say this, it's because there is a big jump between silver to gold. And I think that's where the doubts kind of start to come in, whether I can do this or I can't. It may take a little bit longer time. You might just be determined and you might just go for it. But between this time, between you're a silver and a gold, that's when you become a leader. You know, what is your role model? What is your role with your team? So trying to emphasize, like, how do I lead my team? How do I share? How do I keep my customers? You're kind of finding that balance between customers and ambassadors and reaching out to them and continue to keep growing your business and sharing on social media, sharing with friends and family, doing events. So that fire doesn't die, because if you just, if you just reach silver and then you just want your team to do the rest for you, well, it's not going to happen. You have to keep doing things for your own self and your own team. So you start developing yourself. You're dealing with people's personalities. So now you have different personalities on your team, whether they're customers or ambassadors. You have team members. And guess what? Those team members have goals. Your customers have goals. So it's up to you as a leader to help them reach their goals, because they came to you, whether their goal was to lose weight, to get their products paid for, to get $50 extra in their cash, $100, whatever it is. They have goals and they came to you because they valued you, they trust you. So we have to help them reach their goals. Remember, this is the biggest jump, and I think we just have to balance out everything from life to our jobs to this business and working this as a business or as a hobby, whatever you want to work this with. Have your goals, vision, visualize your goals, set them up somewhere where you can see them, on your refrigerator, on your mirror when you get ready every morning, in your car. If you have a sticky and you just have them there, you guys, stickies work really well for me. I have stickies all over my office, and it just keeps reminding me like, oh, I need to do this, or that's what I want. Positive affirmations. This comes a time with self-doubt, but that's when you need to feed yourself even more. And go back to your why. Why did you start Plexus? Was it to get healthy? Was it to make money? Was it to help others? Whatever that why, and that why can change. Always go back to it when times get hard. This is a roller coaster, and we've been on this roller coaster. I think most of us here have been on it, where you sign up a lot of people, or you have a lot of customers one month, or you have a lot of interest, and then you go 1 week or another month where it's just kind of slow and quiet, and you start to like, well, maybe this isn't it. Maybe this isn't for me. That's when you need to grow yourself. That's when I would recommend to get a book on personal development. That's when I recommend to talk to a friend, talk to another ambassador, feed yourself, build belief, go back onto YouTube, look at testimonies, read testimonies, videos, train yourself. That's when you should pour yourself into that. So what does gold look like? So to make it to gold, you need 20 or more level 1 through 3 ambassadors. And the reason why I say level 1 through 3, it's because your levels 1 through 3, they are worth 5 points. So if you have 20 times 5, that equals 100 points. So gold, you need 100 points. You can have levels 1 through 5, but those levels 4 and 5, you're going to get less points. For level 4, you're going to get 4 points. For level 5, you're going to get 3 points. So that scale goes down, and I don't want to lose you there. But so just think about 20 or more. These can be personally sponsored. Now, I have seen people that will sponsor 20 people all on their own. Okay. So that's the way that you can get to gold. Another thing is the power of 3. And we'll talk a little bit about the power of 3. But if you recruit 3 people, you just went silver, right? So you have 15 points to get you to silver. But now the big jump is to have 20 ambassadors versus 3. But the thing is, you can help those ambassadors that you just recruited, those wholesale people, you can help them reach 3. So that's the power of 3. Now, if they all get 3, guess what? You have more people now to look towards your 20. So there's different ways to look at it this way. You can recruit 20 on your own. You can have 3 people and they can each recruit 5 people. It can look different ways, and that's one thing that we don't have control over. What we do have control over is the people that you recruit and that you sponsor, the people that you're talking to, and helping our level 1s, the people that you sponsor, training them so that they can duplicate that system on down, and that will make your job a lot easier. Once you go gold, you get a $250 cash bonus. That's a one-time. So once you reach silver, you got a $100 bonus. For those of you that reached silver last month, you got a double bonus, so that made it to $200. So that's when you make it to gold, you're giving yourself a raise. You're giving yourself a $250 bonus. Like, does your job or just any other job just give you a $250 bonus just for the heck of it? Maybe, in the holidays or something, but not every job will give you a $250 bonus. So once you go gold, you also get profit sharing points. So what is that? That means that every person in your organization with at least 100 PV, you get 5 points. So those are I looked at those as profit shares, kind of like share that people, how like stock market. That's how I compare that too. So every point is worth about $2.80 to $3 depending on the month. So every person that has 100 PV, you're getting 5 points, levels 1 through 3. So that's about $2.80 times 5, let's say 3. So about $15 on average. That's per person on top of their commission override. So then you're getting paid levels 1 through 5 once you go gold. As a silver ambassador, you get paid levels 1 through 3. And gold, you get paid even deeper on down. As your team grows, you're going to have deeper levels. The average income for a gold ambassador on our team is $1,000 and $1,031. That's a lot of money, okay? And that's double the income from a silver ambassador. So I just really want to emphasize on this. If right now we have a gold and we're working as a gold, just reaching out here and there, as a silver, do our job here and there. Well, if I want that double income, guess what I have to do? I need to double my activity, right? If I'm going to get paid double, I'm going to double the work that I'm putting in. So I'm going to make this goal happen because I'm going to get paid the $1,000 versus the $400. That's why I say double, because you're doubling your income. Your activity should double in order to get it. So it's kind of showing up to work. If you don't show up to work, you're not going to get paid, right? Same thing with this. If you're not doing the work, you're not going to get paid. You're not going to get that double. So the way I look at it is when I'm going to make a jump, I need to double my productivity. This is, now think about $1,000. Yeah, that's substantial money. That is game-changing money. When I first started, that was, like I said, I wanted to just get my products at wholesale value. Then it changed to what if I could get my products paid for? Once I saw a little money coming, I'm like, oh, our products are being paid for. And then that why keeps changing, because I think a lot of you on this call, you just want, you see the vision and you want more. So you keep going, well, what if? So what if I had $1,000? Could you cut back on your hours at work? Could you spend more time with your family? We have Christmas coming up. $1,000 is a huge blessing during this time of the year. Any time of the year, it's a huge blessing. So think about an extra $1,000 and what you would do with those extra $1,000. So when you start recruiting people, there's 3 categories of ambassadors. There's people that join just for wholesale. They just want their products at lower cost. That's perfectly fine. I think all of us signed up for that because we like deals and we don't like to pay full price. So there's a lot of people that will sign up for wholesale. They just want the products paid for. They don't want anything else but just low cost. Then we have joggers. These are people that might want to work this as a hobby, might want to get their product paid for. They're just happy with their product and they just want to stay there. They might occasionally get a customer, or they might get someone on their family, and next thing you know, they have 200 PV, 300 PV. Those are your joggers, kind of just jogging. And then you're going to have runners. You're going to have those people that just hit the floor and they start to run, start posting right away. And next thing you know, they have a lot of people asking and commenting about what is Plexus, and they're sending out messages left and right. They see the vision. They work hard. They're active. These are people that are active on the team pages, that are active on the calls. That would be you guys. They keep in contact with you, that are constantly asking questions. I love questions, okay? Because that shows to me that they're interested and they want to know more. And I love that. And those are the people that I lock arms with. I'm like, all right, let's go this, let's do this. These are people that have goals, that have visions, that they have a why. Everybody has a why, but their why because you're working close-handed with them. One thing I also want to say when you're approaching people is don't prejudge. I've made that error before where I just thought of somebody like, well, she's pretty healthy. She runs and, she's got deep pockets. She doesn't need this. I made that mistake. Well, this person contacted me. She's like, hey, can you tell me about your pink drink? And she's been a wholesale ambassador this whole time, but slowly she's starting to share. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So don't prejudge. Always check in with everybody on your team. I say check in every 3 weeks, every month, especially with those wholesale ambassadors that are just there and they just take their products and they just constantly take their products, but they don't do anything about the business or anything, but they're just there. Check in with them. What if you can, what if they want the products paid for? They feel kind of comfortable and they could start sharing. Think about your customers. You can also flip your customers. If you have a customer that has been a preferred customer for 3 months, 2 months, that means they like the product. What if you could save them an additional money? And what if they could get a percentage of that back from their products? So these are things that you can kind of think about. There's a video out there that it's called, if you have 1,000 PV, that should be a red flag. And we all want a lot of PV, right? Personal volume, because we get paid on that. But if we have a lot of PV, that means we have a lot of customers that are really happy with their products. And it's kind of like a little risk, but we don't grow if we don't take risks. What if we flip some of those customers to ambassadors? And what if they like the product so much? I mean, they already do, but what if they started to share? That means that they could potentially grow a team. They could potentially grow a leg under you. And that is, because as a preferred customer, you can only earn so much. Yeah, that's good money right there. But what if they just decide to just grow a limb on your tree, on your genealogy tree? That is amazing. So now we're going to go into the power hour. And these are some sayings by John Maxwell. I really like John Maxwell. And this one says, doing a little bit every day is better than doing a lot someday. So what I like to say about this is reach out, reach out every day. If you just have 1 hour, we have 24 hours. Some of you work full-time, some of us work at home full-time. But just if you can devote 1 hour, and you can break that hour to 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes on your morning break, 15 minutes in your lunch, and 15 minutes before you go to bed. You just have an hour right there. So what can you do in that power hour? So right here I have posting. You can post on social media. You can reach out. You can follow up. I have the 531, and the 531 is reach out to 5 people. Okay, let me go back. We all have a list of 100, right? We've all been told to have a list of 100. Keep adding to that list and reach out to 5 people from that list daily. The 3 is follow up with 3. If you already have people that have commented on some of your Facebook posts, or they're kind of just sitting on the fence, reach out to 3 daily, and those numbers will grow. And then the number one right there is to train yourself or train somebody on your team. So reach out to new people, follow up with 3, and train a person on your team, or train yourself. So that's the 5-3-1 rule that we consistently talk about. And that's just doing a little bit every day adds up to something bigger. It's kind of like running a marathon, or so you might have those runners that just sprint it all the way, and then they get tired and then they stop and then they go again. Or you have those relay people, that everybody does a leg. So that's the way I like to look at it. You just take a leg at a time, you run that, and then run another leg and run another leg. Here's another quote of the day. The 2-step time management rule is to plan your day, achieve your goals, and keep your plan. And I started doing this on Sunday nights. I have Monday through Friday. So I will take my Sunday night and make a plan of what I'm going to do for the week. Who am I going to reach out to on my 100 list? Who do I need to follow up from my customers? Even my ambassadors too, because some of my ambassadors are like my customers. So I need to follow up with them. Who do I need to train this week? So I will schedule daily training with my ambassadors. Or as well, 15 minutes of personal development for myself. So these are great things to keep this. So reach out, follow up, and train yourself. Now, when times are slow, I do think, like summer was slow, for example. People are on vacations, people are traveling. It's hard for people to stick onto a plan or a regimen. That time was slow. So that's the time that you use that time to build yourself. Grab a personal development book, watch YouTube training videos, and if you need some, we can gladly recommend some. So when you're posting on social media, I recommend you post at least 2 to 3 times a day, because there's people that are, if you post in the morning, your late night owl people are not going to see that because they're still sleeping in the morning. So I try to post in the morning, lunch, and dinner. And that's when people are scrolling through Facebook, when they get up, when they're still in bed, during lunch or their breaks, and once they get home after dinner, or once they're getting ready for bed. Those are the prime times. If I post something in the morning and my people who are not morning people, then chances are they're not going to see it. So, and another thing to keep in mind is that they're probably following 500 to 1,000 other people on their feed. So they're going to get what all these other 1,000 people are posting. So my post is going to get lost. So when somebody says, oh no, 2 to 3 times a day, that's a lot. It really isn't, because not everybody sees your post. Another quick tip is, once you're posting something on social media, comment, and then don't reply. Make 3 comments without replying, just 3 comments. So if somebody says, oh, I want more information, don't hit the reply button under that person. Start another comment. And then someone else will come and comment. So now you have 3 comments. And that, how it works on Facebook, I have no idea, but that speeds that post to the top. and it'll bump it up for people to see. So once you have 3 comments, it bumps it up for more people to see that. So like I said, educate. If you see a paragraph or a story that somebody shared about gut health or, low blood sugars, anything, educate your people that are following you. It doesn't always have to be about Plexus, but you can educate through posting. You can share stories. Your story says a lot. That's what sells. Stories sell and testimonies sell. So if you don't have a testimony just yet, borrow one, copy and paste. Don't do the share, copy and paste it so that it comes from you. Here's the neat thing about being an ambassador is that we have this one Plexus thing, and you can borrow a post or steal, in a good way, someone else's post, and you don't have to ask for permission. That's the one Plexus rule that we have. So instead of, I see people click share, well, you're not giving yourself credit when you're sharing because you're giving that person credit. So if somebody shared one of my posts, they're giving me credit for it. But the thing is, people that are not Facebook Plexus people are not going to know that you copy and pasted that. That's the secret of being an ambassador. We all know that we copy and paste, and we're really good at that. But that's how we educate. So just be careful when you're copying and posting, or copying and pasting, that you change some of the wording so it does come from you, or it doesn't say, oh, I just have 7 kids and I just got up and drank my Slim and da-da-da. I don't have 7 kids, though I've been caught on something like that. So just be careful when you're copying and pasting. But remember, you are a silver ambassador. You are an ambassador with Plexus, and people are watching you. It's very evident that you are, especially after your graphics been made, that you are a silver ambassador. People are really watching you. They're watching to see what you're going to do next, how much, what you're posting and what you're sharing. So keep an eye out. Next is lead your team. Now, remember, if you have one customer, one ambassador on your team, you are a leader. So add them to the team page. Always add them to the team page. If you don't have a team page, now I recommend, what I started to recommend now is that if you are a silver, it's up to you if you want to add a team page, but I'd rather prefer you to add them to, the big team page or your uplines team page, so that you have that time to keep building your team, to keep reaching out. Because there's times when our pages are dead. you can see mine. Sometimes we have 310 people on that page, and sometimes it's still dead. It's always the same people that comment. Always, always, always. So I struggled a lot when I was a silver. I started a page when I was a silver ambassador, and it was hard to see things or see people involved in it. So I always struggled with, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what to post. So what I recommend to you is, if you are a silver ambassador, is to hold off on making a team page. Add them to the uplines team page, so your upline, and let them do the work. And you can still post on that team page. That is your page. That is your team page. So if you see something out there that you'd like, or you want to share with somebody, or you see something, tag your leaders on that thread or on that post. I have friends that said, well, she's a wholesale ambassador. She doesn't want to be added, or she doesn't want to work the business, so I'm not going to add her to the team page. I totally say add them to the team page. You can just say, I'm adding you to our team page, and just take the information that pertains to you. And just, there's knowledge in there. It's a good place where you can kind of just lurk and, just kind of play peekaboo. Nobody knows you're there really, but you can just kind of scroll through posts. I'm pretty sure that's how a lot of us got started, is by looking at what other people were posting. That built our belief. People were asking questions. Recognition is big, big, big with Plexus. And I saw how people were being recognized left and right on Jen's page when I first started. And I was just lurking. I was just kind of observing. But I'm like, whoa, I want to be recognized. I want to be there. So that intrigued me. Like, okay, how do, I can do this. So think about your wholesale ambassadors. If they don't want to be on the team page, they can remove themselves. That's fine. That's on them. But you as a leader, you added them to the support page where they can ask questions, find answers, product information, fun challenges. People are actually like fun challenges. I know I do. That's what I do. So think this is where you can also share videos with them. If you see a video, you can search in the box and just tag people on there. There's so much information on there. The thing is that a lot of things get bumped down but you can do a search in that box and you can bump things up. You can tag people in a post and it'll bump it up. Your team should see your face at least once a week. And that's either one-on-one, meeting them for coffee or meeting them for lunch, or even doing a video for them. Just a small, like, hey, what's going on? How's it going? Maybe a 3-way call on Zoom. Ask them how their products are going. Be present. That is also, if you do that with your level ones, that's going to be duplicatable down your team, so that you do that with your level ones, and then your levels start to see, oh, this is what's working here. Maria's doing this, or this is what Brenda's doing. I'm going to do that with my team. Build, believe, and if you need to do boot camps, like if you just want to gather your runners or your wholesale ambassadors on how to take the products, how to share. I mean, these things can be so small. It could just be half an hour, 30 minutes, sorry, an hour. You could do little mini boot camps with your team if you'd like. One thing that I do like is on the team posts, when somebody posts something, it's, tag your leaders, and you can say, hey, Jenny, do you want to do this with me? And you just tag Jenny there and she can see the post, because sometimes people don't check the threads on the team pages. Here are some suggested contests for reaching gold. Okay, you guys, let me tell you, it took me about 6 months to go gold. Okay, I didn't really see it. Now I'm silly to even say that, but I went silver in July and I reached gold on December 31st of last year. I saw the vision, and gold is something that you can push for. If you want it, you're determined, and you see that vision, you can do the work for it, right? You just start sharing more, you keep following up with people, you make it happen. As you get higher up in the ranks, you need a team. You need teams to your team to get you there. You need team participation. You need your whole army. But to get to gold, you can do it on your own. You can totally do it. And I have faith that you can do it. So I like to motivate my team, and I like to push my team. If they want to be pushed. Now, I don't say somebody said, hey, you have to do this. I don't say that. I put it on my team page, and whoever runs with it, or whoever I see that they can do it, I'll give them a call. I'm like, hey, you are so close to reaching this goal. What do you think? And some of that can be being commission qualified by the 15th. So this is something that you can do with your team, and you can do this on a private message, on Messenger. You can start threads. Some people like threads, some people don't, but that's a really good way to get in contact with everybody on your team. So being commission qualified by the 15th, this is a challenge that I run every month, and that's when I give away a prize every 15th of the month. So that kind of shows that, hey, if you order every month by the 15th, you're being entered to win a shirt, a sweater, a hat. Elizabeth gives product, Jen gives something else. So it's kind of like something that has been duplicatable, and I've seen it done with my down legs too. Brenda and Kelly will pass that on too, and onto their legs as well. So if you have somebody that gets in their order by the 15th, they're eligible to win like 5 to 6 prizes. That's pretty enticing, right? So these are just some things that you can run. Some challenges that you can run. One of them is to go silver. My goal is to reach 3 every month, go silver over and over again. I have 2 so far this month that I've recruited. I need to recruit 1 more, and I've reached my goal. Now, if I exceed it, that will be great. But remember, the constant, but Celeste Gwynn said this really well. If you, we got to keep the tub running, right? The water keeps flowing. It kind of, some of it gets leaked or through. So we need to keep pouring water into that. So some ambassadors that we recruit might not be with us the whole time. And we need to keep recruiting just so that we keep that going. So keep reaching out for 3 new ambassadors every month. 500 PV is an excellent goal for your team. So what if they reach, 500 PV? You can enter them to a coffee card, a Starbucks card, a Target card, anything, something small, a water bottle. Plexus has water bottles, or a shaker cup. They're like $9 in our back office. What if they share their why with you? You can put them in a drawing if they share your why with you, or on the team page or with you, so that you know their why. I think it's very important if we know their why. I think I know everybody's whys here. On down to our team, because that is what will drive them. That's your drive, and that's your power, is right there, is your why. So again, these are just some suggestions. And if you see some happening on the team pages, mine, Elizabeth's, or Jen's, encourage your team to participate. They may look at that and say, well, it's not for me because, I'm not sharing Plexus, or I'm just a wholesale ambassador. That's for everyone, completely for everyone. So you can tag them on that and encourage them. You could tag them and say, hey, let's get on this and let's order by the 15th and let's get entered to win into this, or let's make it to 500 PV. Those are things that you can encourage your team. This is the power of 3. So duplication. So you are right here. Okay. You just, as a silver ambassador, you recruited 3 people. So this is where you get points. Okay. So you have 5 points for that person, 5 points for that person, and 5 points, because these are your level 1s. Now that will get you to silver. Having 3 people, that got you to silver. But guess what? One of these people decided to share. So then they have another one, and then they have another one, and they just went silver because they went 3. Okay. So that's the power of 3. So you just added 3, teach that on down to everybody get 3. We all have 3 friends that want to do this with us. We all have 3 friends that we can take on a walk. We have 3 friends that can join us on pretty much anything. You are an influencer, so you could get 3 people to join you, and that's the power of 3. And if you look on down here, these are just how you get paid on them. And I don't want to make this too confusing, but if you have 15 points, if you're a silver ambassador, on average, right now, I think it's about $2.80, but this graphic shows $3. So if you have 15 points in your organization and this appears on your dashboard, that's an extra $45. Remember, Plexus pays you 11 different ways, and this is the point system. Lead your team. This is a really, I like this quote because it says, good leadership isn't about advancing yourself. It's about advancing your team. And what I like to follow up with that is, if you help your team reach their goal, if their goal is to go silver, if their goal is to go gold, help them. Find ways to help them. But this will also help you in return, right? Because they are your team, they are your downline. You are connecting with them. Once you get to know their why and their goals, you are connected with that person. You need to pour into them. Find ways that you can make that work for them. There's different personalities, what works for them, what doesn't work for them. Add value. You have so much value with these people. These are people that you influenced in one way or another, and you can continue to influence them throughout this journey of Plexus, being healthy, building a team, finances. I mean, this is just the beginning, and it's so crazy because we never really saw ourselves as leaders. Maybe we saw ourselves as leader, in our other jobs, because we have a title. If you're a director, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, you have that title and you have that leadership, and you have leadership within your family, right? You are a parent, you're the head of the household, you have leadership there. This is another way where we are leaders. And so it's kind of uncovering that and developing ourselves as leaders and learning along the way. I didn't know I was going to be doing this, when I signed up for wholesale. This is something that just kind of gradually came, and I'm gradually learning, I'm still learning. So again, just good leadership isn't about advancing yourself. It's not making it to the next rank and, I'm going to do this and do that. It all comes down to your team and helping them advance, because when they advance, they stay connected with you. They trust you. They their why. But at the same time, it's also rewarding you because, the feeling of helping somebody, it's just priceless. When you help somebody, you feel like you can take on the world. When you've made a difference in someone's life, whether it's health, a customer, or an ambassador on your team, you just help them earn $50, or you just help them get their product paid for. That's a feeling that no one can take from you. And you feel so rewarded. So when when people on my team reach a goal, I feel like I'm on clouds. I'm on cloud 9, just because I feel accomplished that they reach their goals, because it's also my accomplishment. Leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but are far enough ahead to motivate them. So we need to be the motivators. We need to keep encouraging. We're cheerleaders. We need to encourage them on their journey, the products, sharing. We're just there. We're like the rock that somebody can come back to. And I love being that person for them. When they trust me, that just shows that they trust, and they can trust you because obviously they came to you for a reason. So the difference between a jewel and a non-jewel. So once you get into the ranks, you have silver, you have gold, you have rubies, and then you have emeralds and sapphires and diamonds, right? So we all want to be a jewel. That's our goal. If you're on here, it's because you want to make it to gold. And once you make it to gold, you can make it to diamond. And that's when you become a jewel. So what's the difference between a jewel and a non-jewel? And this is the way that Celeste put it out there. And Celeste is a top earner in our company. She's also our upline. And she narrated this very well down. You have to have belief in the company. Okay. You have to have belief in the products and in yourself. So are the products working for you? Think about what it's done for you, what they've done to you. You wouldn't be sharing something if you didn't believe in it, correct? And then you start to learn more about the company and how they stand behind their ambassadors, the integrity that they have. And then you start believing in yourself, like, oh my gosh, I just went silver. I totally can do this. I just got a new customer. I just got a new ambassador. That's building belief, but you have to keep building this on a regular basis because this is a roller coaster and there will be days where you doubt yourself. Go back to that day that you believed in yourself. Go back to the things that uplift you, that rise you. Talk to your upline, your sponsor. When you're feeling doubt, when you need to build yourself up, talk to them. That is what is going to help you strive and jump over that hurdle. Be consistent. Absolutely. You got to be consistent in taking your product. You got to be a product of the product. If you're not taking the product on a regular basis, it's not going to work. If you're not posting on a regular basis, you know what? You're not going to get people to join you. You're not going to spark interest if you're not posting consistently. It's having a worth ethic. At first I kind of battled whether I wanted to do this or not. But once I decided to be all in, I was all in. It's like that light switch, once it's on, it's on. So once you decide that you are all in, kind of like, when you are in Vegas and you have that chip and you just, you bet it all in, work for it. Have that work ethic. It's like any other job. If you're getting paid, if your products are getting paid for, if you have a check coming from Plexus, that's a job. Show that work, so that you are compensated for that. To me, it's a sacrifice. I do sacrifice TV time. I sacrifice going to bed. Think of the things that you can sacrifice to make this a reality, to make this a goal. If you want to make it to gold, if you want to make it to diamond or emerald, there has to be some sacrifice. You can't just depend on it to just all happen. If it's going to bed an hour later while you can work on your power hour, your 5-3-1, if instead of going out for lunch with somebody, you go meet somebody and explain to them the compensation plan or explain to them the products, that's sacrifice. Finding sacrifices. So what you do now and what you sacrifice is what's going to work for you later on. That's when you're going to see everything reap. The TV show, going to bed early, maybe not so much Netflix, maybe getting up an hour earlier in the morning and reading 15 pages or 10 pages of self-development, having the drive, know your why. What is your why, and why is it that you want to get out of it? Have that drive and that power every day to get up in the morning and make a difference in yourself and in those people in your team. You guys, I go to bed and I have a notepad next to my nightstand, and I'm constantly thinking of who I'm going to add, who I need to call, who I need to follow up with, and who I need training, or who I need to, just in general, who I need to give a pep talk to. Or sometimes I need that pep talk. And so I will call Jen, I will call Elizabeth. So once you need that, find that, and just stay connected. Stay connected in the team pages, stay connected with your upline, and then just work hard. Work hard. If you're getting a paycheck, you gotta work hard to maintain that, else it's gonna go bye-bye. So have determination, obviously, and just be committed. Be committed to your team, be committed to your company, to your products. If I see commitment from somebody, I know that they want it. I know that they're a runner, and I'm going to pour myself into that person. Attitude is such a big one. If you're feeling great, you wake up every morning and just having that positive attitude, somebody tells me, well, my order didn't get here in time. I'm just going to find the attitude to share that with them. If we have a downline, if we have customers, I want to be as positive as I can towards them. I don't want to sound negative and, ruin their belief, right? So we got to be positive in everything that we show and share, especially on our Facebook wall. If people will connect with you, depending how positive and your attitude is. Have a network. Another one is your network. Think about your network of work, gym, church, These are people that you influence. Think about all the people that you have an influence over. So this is where it changes. And once you start recruiting people, look at their network. Look at are they influencers? Are they positive? What kind of attitude do they have? So that's kind of like where you can trickle down. You are your own boss, and you can hire people for your team. So you can put on your team people that you want. So have that little interview process. I know Clyde mentioned this before, headhunters, look for the headhunters. So you can do that. So look for people that have a big network, that are influencers, have positive attitudes, and are just in general good people. My goal here is, this is just to finish up, is first comes the dream, then comes the struggle, then there's the victory. There's a lot of struggle between here and gold, between diamonds, between a jewel. There's a lot of struggle. But if you quit, it's done, right? You just can't do anything about it. You're done. And then the problem is that a lot of people quit during the struggle. They don't know how to fight hard enough. And you know why? It's because they don't know their why. They're not committed. They're not determined. Okay, so my advice for you is to don't quit. When you quit, it's done. But if you just keep going, even if it's at a steady pace, keep sharing regularly. Right now, you're just establishing that foundation. Remember, you're laying the foundation for your team of what you're building. These people that you're adding to your team can be a runner. They can totally lock arms with you and take you all the way to your next rank. We have customers that fail too, that just stop when the struggle gets real. When the product is working because they have detox symptoms or something, they quit. And that's the struggle. That's the same thing right here. They quit during the struggle, not knowing how close. What if the next day their body just goes into a whole different shift, and they just, the bloating goes away, the migraine goes away. Same thing for us here. What if the next day that dream teamer that you messages you back and says, okay, I'm in. And that right there can change it all. Just think about look at that little fine wall. We never know where that fine wall is. So if you have gold in your backyard, you better get that shovel and you better start digging. That's my advice here for everyone. I'm going to open it up to questions, and I'm going to stop the recording.